You are watching an interview program on 24KZ, and my name is Жанна Hussainova. Aviation connects the world, and the future of international travel depends on how safe, efficient and sustainable this system can be. Today we bring you an exclusive interview with the President of the Council of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, Mr. Salvatore Sciacchitano. Mr. Sciacchitano, welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you very much for taking your time to participate in our interview. And I would like to have an opportunity and congratulate you on being awarded with the Orden Dostuk Order, right? First class by Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. Thank you one more time. And I would like to start with the first question. It's going to be an introductory question. What are the key global priorities of ICAO?
Well, ICAO has just adopted very recently the strategic plan 2026-2050, identifying 6 strategic goals. I will not mention all of them, but we mention 2 or 3 of them that are crucial. First, in order to continue to support the development of transport globally, and let's remind that we will have an increase of traffic that will bring 3 times the number of passengers from 2025 to 2050. We need to keep safety and security at the highest level. So the first point is that we need to have the highest level of standards on safety and security. Specifically, we have an aspirational goal to have 0 fatalities for whatever a flight operation or security. The second is that this development must be done in order to reduce the CO2 emissions by aviation. If you have a triple traffic, you will have a triple quantity of CO2 emissions. This is not acceptable, so we have the objective to reduce to 0 the CO2 emissions by 2050. How? In order to gradually replace the fuel, the current fuel, with sustainable aviation fuels, and with the introduction of new technologies that will imply less jet fuel, less fuel consumption. The third, and I will stop there, is that no country must be left behind. Aviation is global. Each country has its own transport system. Each country must be able to implement safety and security standards in a uniform way. And this is a commitment of ICAO to support them to implement safety and security standards at the highest level possible.
Thank you. Let's move our discussion to Kazakhstani angle. What prospects do you see for Kazakhstan being as an international aviation hub, and does ICAO plan to expand its involvement in infrastructure modernizing projects?
Well, first of all, Kazakhstan has a great opportunity because it has adopted very recently a liberalization policy on air transport. Liberalization policy means to open access to the aviation market in Kazakhstan to the external world. This gives more opportunity of connectivity worldwide with the focus on Kazakhstan. This is the first important element that must be recognized. The second is that Kazakhstan is investing in infrastructures. In the airport here has already done in Almaty, and is expanding the airline Astana. These are excellent, let's say, opportunities to offer more and more engagement and accessibility of Kazakhstan, to Kazakhstan. What could be the role of ICAO? It's been confirmed this morning. This morning we signed with the Minister of Transport a design project on the Civil Aviation Master Plan. It's a document that will characterize how the civil aviation will have to develop in the future through the support of ICAO. So it's a practical, pragmatic approach, not theoretical approach, on how ICAO will support Kazakhstan in developing its own transport system.
Could Kazakhstan become a regional aviation hub between Europe and Asia?
My answer is yes. Yes, for a simple reason. Geographically, Kazakhstan has a great opportunity because it's in an area where the possibility to create a hub is a matter of fact. We have to consider the hub does mean to replace direct connections, for example, between Europe and Asia Pacific, but it can generate more connectivity opportunities with the region towards both sides, Asia Pacific and Europe. So thanks to the liberalization that we have already mentioned, and thanks to the infrastructures that are already existing and will develop more and more, yes, Kazakhstan can play an important role in terms of attracting traffic and, let's say, spreading out the traffic towards the two regions.
So we already started to talk about Central Asian region, and now my next question is, what steps can Central Asian countries take to increase international trust in airlines and airports?
As I mentioned, the most important decision of Kazakhstan has been liberalization. So for the region, it's important that other states would continue the same policy or implement the same policy regarding liberalization. Liberalization will offer better opportunities of connectivities. Additionally, the other countries in the region must follow the same approach of Kazakhstan in terms of strengthening the civil aviation mechanism. I just visited the aviation administration of Kazakhstan with 200 staff that have been appointed in the last 6 years. This is a matter of fact, how to organize, because the staff implies also an ability of performing oversight, safety oversight, security oversight. So liberalization, infrastructures, strong oversight mechanism are basic elements for a formula for development of transport.
Thank you. How would you assess the region's progress in aligning the safety systems with ICAO's standards?
Well, at the regional level, let me say there is still some disuniformity. What I mean is Kazakhstan has already passed the average, global average, that is very good, of implementation of standards. Other states in the region are improving, some very fast, some are struggling. But the role of ICAO is to support them. As I mentioned at the beginning, one of the objectives of ICAO is not to leave any country left behind. So our role through the regional office that I have in Paris or through the headquarters that we have in Montreal, we support them to enhance their ability to implement the standards. So it's a process that where, to be frank, in this region, Kazakhstan has been a model, but other countries are moving in the same direction. This region has never been so vocal, let me say, in aviation as has been Europe, as has been Asia Pacific, for several reasons, historical reasons. Now the progress is changing. The development of the air transport in this region is becoming more and more evident. The consequence is that, because let's remind that aviation is an enabler of socio-economic development of the country. Air transport is not something that is just for itself. Enables connectivity, enables the exchange of people, put countries in connection, and enables economic development. So this is the benefit that can be brought by air transport in the region, more in general and specifically to Kazakhstan.
Thank you. I cannot but answer taking into account the fact that technology affects each sector, including aviation, right? How does ICAO plan to regulate the drone market and UAM, urban air mobility?
Let's say that the drones For the drones, we have already standards. ICAO has already adopted standards for drones that are used normally commercially for any purpose. So we have standards regarding the drones itself, the system, the piloting, remote, the technology that is behind. The advanced air mobility, that is another aspect of the modern air transport, where you have passengers on board and without pilot on board. This is something where we are progressing, is promising. Some countries have already certified the first vehicles of advanced air mobility, but what is essential is to have a global standards, and this is a role of ICAO. It's a sector very promising, but different from air transport in the traditional concept. But what we need to do is to create the possibility to have both in operation. For example, to have air transport operating in an airport and then having from the airport the advanced air mobility to bring passengers to the city is something that could be done, but we have to create the compatibility in terms of simultaneous operations. This can be done and will be done by technology, but technology, or let me say that aviation is based on safety, and as long as there is no strong arguments in terms of safety, of course, the system will have to be very, very cautious. We are very pleased because we are making progress. We have working groups and subgroups that are already working. So advanced air mobility is becoming a reality at some national levels and will become more and more a reality at a global level very, very soon.
In the future. And the last but not the least, so today you had a meeting with our President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, and you discussed a lot of topics. I would like to ask, which Kazakhstani achievements stand out the most?
Probably you cannot guess, but what I told the President of the Republic today, in addition to recognition of achievements, has been the following. In aviation, there is a gender imbalance. We have globally only 5% of women that are professionals in aviation globally. The Aviation Administration of Kazakhstan has reached 40%. So aviation, let's say the progress of Kazakhstan towards gender equality is outstanding as the model for the rest of other countries in Europe and outside Europe and North America and Asia Pacific. So Kazakhstan is moving towards the gender equality as an objective of the United Nations, is one of the Sustainable Development Goals. And today, in addition to the general acknowledgements that I had with the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and thanking him very much for the honor that has been granted to me with the friendship recognition, I mentioned that, in my view, one of the best achievements has been the progress on gender equality.
That's very interesting to hear. Thank you very much, Mr. Sciacchitano. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you again for spending some time with us today, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
It was an interview program on 24KZ channel, and we talked with the President of ICAO, Mr. Salvatore Sciacchitano. Wish you all the best and see you next time.